Hello and welcome to the Sport on Pulse. I'm Gary Al Smith. So, after all is said and done in the World Cup qualifiers for the 2018 version, we have to ask, is there any chance of qualification for Ghana in Group E? As you know, yesterday on Pulse, Gifty and I did the analysis of the Ghana game, by which time the Black Stars had romped to a 5-1 win away. But a couple of hours later, we did see Egypt also win by a 0-0 against Uganda, putting them in a good position, as they say, in a comfortable lead. But what about Ghana? In studio with me is Fifi Forson from the Joy Sports Desk to look at the permutations and to bring our giant calculator to bear. So, first of all, remind us of what the group looks like.
The group looks very good for Egypt. If you are an Egypt fan, it's looking great for you, and you are closing in on their first World Cup in 28 years. But for Ghana, it's not looking good at all because they lie third on the group. So Egypt are first with 9 points. Uganda follow second with 7 points, and Ghana third with 5 points, and also Congo have only a point. The point they stole from Ghana in Kumasi.
Yeah, so that is the way the cookie has crumbled in Group E so far. So, again, for the purposes of education, how many chances do Egypt, Ghana, and Uganda have to salvage their campaigns?
Egypt have only one chance, and that is when they face Congo in Alexandria. I think they are going to intimidate Congo and beat them by a huge margin. If they win that game, they are through, because if they win that game and Ghana also beat Uganda in Kampala, then meaning Egypt are through for the first time in 2018, as I said. But if Egypt drop points, if they draw with Congo and Ghana win in Kampala, the final will be decided in Kumasi. That will be between Egypt and Ghana. Whoever wins goes to the World Cup. That
would be great. So, essentially, there are 2 matches for each of the 3 teams, and for Congo, they've been officially eliminated from the qualifiers. Now, we've seen what the permutations are. Let's look at the chances.
I think the chances, no, I think it's out. Ghana is out. Ghana.
We should forget about the World Cup.
They should forget about the World Cup, and maybe if they
come on, they're like, believe.
No, there's nothing like believe. We blew it. We blew it in Kumasi. I was expecting, even let's say if Thomas Partey had saved one of his goals yesterday for Kumasi, let's say win 2-1, that would have given the Black Stars a huge chance of qualifying, because if they had won in Kumasi, it would be 7 points now, and the difference between Egypt and Ghana would have been 2 points. So you go into your next 2 games, you win against Uganda, allow Egypt also beat Congo, and we decide the final. We decide whoever goes here in Kumasi. But I think it's over, and Egypt will go through, or probably Uganda can make it, because Uganda also need 4 points.
Yeah.
They need 13 points to qualify. If they draw with Ghana and negotiate their way past Congo, they are through to the World Cup for the first time. And I was discussing with a friend, and he was like, what is Uganda going to do at the World Cup? I said,
what has Ghana been doing at the World Cup? Yeah,
maybe they're going to sell their question.
You know, when you get to the World Cup, I mean, pretty much anything can happen. We are seeing that so far, 8 countries have qualified for the tournament. That includes the host nation, Russia, and 7 others. There's Brazil, there's Mexico, there's Iran, there's Saudi Arabia, there's Japan. There's Japan as well. You know, all these countries have made it to the World Cup so far. Argentina, in a bit of a bother. Chile, the 2 finalists who went to the Copa America, are having a bit of a problem, to put it mildly.
They're struggling.
They're struggling, yeah.
For Argentina, it's not looking good with all this galaxy of stars. And before the international break, they had Messi scoring a brace, Icardi scoring a brace, and also Paulo Dybala scoring a brace. But surprisingly, these 2 players go into the international games and they refuse to score. They refuse to score, because before their game yesterday against Venezuela, the bottom side of the group, everything were in their favor. If they had won, they would move straight to second, and that would have confirmed their place in
Russia. Let's come back to Ghana, because that's what we are concerned about. We saw the Vox Pop yesterday. We spoke to Ghanaian fans. I played it yesterday on Pulse as well, where a lot of people felt that, you know what, maybe for the last group of games, we should try these fleet-footed, younger players in the squad. It's not as if Jordan Ayew and Andre Ayew are old, but you know what they mean. Like, they've been around for a while. What do you think? I personally don't feel that it is the right thing to do. I think that some of the older players have become a bit complacent.
Yeah,
but
of
there's
course.
absolutely no need to say that we are chucking them out. What do you think?
Yeah, of course. And I think some of the old players like Asamoah Gyan should not be just left out of the team, just like that.
Yeah.
I think he's the captain of the team. He scored 51 goals. He should be allowed to live at his own peril.
Yeah.
And also, Andre Ayew has experience, age also on his side. Jordan Ayew, I think he's a good player. He has a lot to prove, but he has to be disciplined.
Yeah.
That's the key. That's the key for Jordan. If he's not disciplined, he's always squandering the opportunities when it comes to him. But I think those who played yesterday proved the point, especially Boakye Adam, also Ifria Akwa. Surprisingly, he was dropped from the 24-man squad. And Isaac Saki, who is based in Turkey, had to be injured for him to come in. And yesterday, you saw his performance.
He proved his mettle, yeah.
He proved his mettle very well. And I think Thomas Partey also is doing some fantastic job. I feel Kwesi Appiah has to do the scouting very well, because in the last scouting he did ahead of the qualifiers, he scouted in United States of America, and I'm surprised, because you don't get quality.
A lot of quality,
you don't get a lot of quality in United States. Of course, you can argue that Harrison Afful was the captain yesterday and he played very well, but you saw the performance of Jonathan Mensah. He's clearly struggling because he's playing in a league that has no competition. So I think Kwesi Appiah has to do the scouting very well. He has to come to mainstream Europe. Look at the performance of Daniel Amati and the boys who are based in Turkey, because I think I can count more than 6 Ghanaian players now based in Turkey. He had to watch Atamalawe very well. If he had watched him very well, he would have committed that blunder of playing him at the right back position. Yeah. So I think he has to do the scouting very well this time around.
Right. So these are the chances of Ghana, but Ghana is not in an isolated group, as you know. And as we speak, there's Egypt and there's Uganda as well. Those two teams will not be sitting down for Ghana to just beat them and go away. Even the Congo. What would Ghana have to do against those two sides as at now? Because the next match is next month, right?
Yeah, next month. That's 5th October or so. And I think Ghana has to go all out, leaving no stone unturned, because I think for Uganda away, it's always difficult. In the last 3 clashes there, they've always gotten the upper hand. But I think if they are able to get positive results, they will be highly motivated and coming to Kumasi to finish the job against Egypt. But it also depends on Congo pulling some magic in Alexandria. If Congo are able to hold Egypt, which is very, very
unlikely,
yeah, unlikely, and I think Egypt will qualify there.
All right. So, well, those are the permutations and the chances, and from a player's point of view, the thoughts of Fifi Forson as well, and some of mine on what should be done and how Ghana can get a place at the World Cup. You know, there's something I have to say. If you've not been to a World Cup, especially as a journalist, it can be absolutely hell to be watching from afar. My Nigerian colleagues always say, especially because Ghana has qualified 2006, 2010, 2014, that not being at the World Cup is agonizing. But even for fans, and I have this feeling that a lot of Ghanaian fans won't understand what it means to be behind your team to qualify for the World Cup until they don't get there. Watching 32 teams playing in a World Cup for one whole month and your country is not there, it's not a joke.
If you look at how the qualifiers are panning out, it's likely Syria, who have been
ravaged with war,
a war-torn country, are likely to qualify. And if you are Ghana and you are watching Syria playing at the World Cup, you should be sad there. But it's all good. And I said the first match we blew it in the first game against Uganda in Tamale. I don't know why they chose to play the match in Tamale. I don't know why and the players did not put up the best performance, and that was where everything started. Avram Grant also getting his tactics wrong from the sports ministry, fighting the GFA. Everything was not right.
Everything was not right, but, well, they say never say never. The next game is next month, and then there's another one coming up pretty soon. Not soon, next year. March next year.
Yeah.
So we'll find out if the World Cup places, any will be reserved for Ghana. One team goes out of each group. Thank you, Fifi Forson, for the analysis. And we'll be back later at 8:20. I'll be having the sports on Prime for you. I'm Gary Al Smith, and that's the edition for now.